We're all kind of searching, aren't we? I mean, humans have always wanted to figure out how to, live life well. It's this age-old quest.
Absolutely. And today we're digging into a really ancient source for that kind of guidance, the Book of Proverbs from the King James Bible.
Right. And it's amazing. It's like this collection of concentrated wisdom, these short, punchy sayings.
Exactly. Memorable, right. And they cover so much ground, personal stuff, how you deal with others, society.
Totally. The range is pretty wild. We've looked through some excerpts, and we want to unpack the big themes that keep popping up. Obviously, wisdom is huge, but also, foolishness, the power of words.
Diligence versus laziness, relationships, all that.
Yeah. So our mission, let's say, is to pull out those key insights that still feel relevant for you listening today.
Makes sense. So where should we kick things off? Maybe start where Proverbs itself seems to start, with the pursuit of wisdom, its value.
Good call. Let's jump in. Right near the beginning, Proverbs 1, verses 2 to 4, it sort of lays out the purpose. It says it's to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding,
To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity.
to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. Wow, that's quite a mission statement for a book of sayings.
It really is like a handbook for living wisely right from the start. It's telling you why this matters.
And this isn't just a one-off mention, is it? This idea of wisdom's value comes up again and again.
Oh, definitely. It's a constant theme. Look at Proverbs 3, verses 13 to 15. It says, "Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding."
Happy, okay.
And then it compares it. "For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies."
Better than silver, gold, rubies. I mean, in a world so focused on money and possessions, that really flips the perspective, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It argues true wealth is something else entirely.
Makes you think, are we chasing the wrong things? And it doesn't stop there. Verse 16 adds that wisdom brings length of days in one hand and riches and honor in the other.
Yeah, it's presented as this incredible package deal. Long life, wealth, respect, all tied to seeking wisdom. It's not just an abstract idea. It's shown to have tangible benefits.
So it's practical, not just philosophical.
Exactly. And Proverbs 4, verse 7 really nails it. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding.
The principal thing. Can't get much clearer than that. It's number one.
The absolute priority. It's the foundation.
So it's not just about knowing stuff. It's about deeper understanding.
Precisely. Connecting the dots, seeing the bigger picture, applying knowledge wisely. And this idea of prioritizing wisdom over wealth shows up again in Proverbs 8, verses 10 and 11.
Okay, what does that say?
Wisdom itself is speaking, saying, "Receive my instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it."
Wow. Again, hammering home that point. But where does this wisdom actually come from, according to Proverbs? Is it just about being smart?
That's a crucial point. It's not just about intellect. Proverbs 9, verse 10 gives us a clue. "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding."
Ah, okay. So there's a connection to reverence, to a moral framework.
Exactly. It suggests true wisdom starts with acknowledging something bigger than ourselves, a sense of moral order. Humility, perhaps.
Interesting. So it's intellect plus a moral compass. Okay, wisdom's value is clear. What about the flip side? What about, folly, wickedness?
The contrast is really stark. Proverbs 1, verse 7, right after saying the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, adds, "But fools despise wisdom and instruction."
Right away. Sets up the opposition.
It does. It's like, here's the path, but some people will just reject it.
And verse 22 kind of elaborates, right? It talks about simple ones loving simplicity, scorners loving scorning, and fools hating knowledge.
Yeah, it paints a picture of actively turning away from learning, from insight. Maybe like ignoring good advice or dismissing expertise today.
Could be. And does it talk about consequences?
Oh, yes. Proverbs 1, verses 32 and 33. "For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely."
So it's self-destructive, basically. Ignore wisdom, face ruin, heed it, find safety.
Pretty much. And it's not just that fools lack understanding. They seem to enjoy causing trouble. Proverbs 10.23 says, "It is as sport to a fool to do mischief."
Sport? Like, they find it fun.
Apparently, whereas the person of understanding finds satisfaction in wisdom itself. It's a real contrast in motivation.
You see that sometimes, don't you? People causing chaos just for kicks.
Sadly, yes. So folly isn't just being dumb, it's often a moral issue too, not caring about the impact of your actions.
Right. And who you hang out with matters here too, doesn't it?
Hugely. Proverbs 13, verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools will be destroyed. Your friends rub off on you.
Definitely. Choose your circle carefully. And it seems fools aren't very self-aware either. Proverbs 14, verse 9 says, fools make a mock at sin.
Yeah, they don't take wrongdoing seriously. They laugh it off, which means they can't learn or change.
Which is the opposite of wisdom, right?
Right.
Wisdom needs that self-awareness.
Exactly. And then you get that really interesting bit in Proverbs 26, verses 4 and 5, about dealing with fools.
Oh, yeah, that one's confusing. Answer not a fool according to his folly.
Lest thou also be like unto him.
Right, but then answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit.
So, which is it? Do you answer or not?
It feels like a trap.
It's tricky, isn't it? It suggests, well, sometimes engaging just drags you down to their level, but other times maybe you need to challenge their nonsense so they don't get puffed up with their own bad ideas.
So you need discernment to know when to speak and when to walk away.
That seems to be the idea. It's a judgment call. Okay, let's shift a bit. What about communication? Speech, that's a big one.
Huge. We're doing it right now. What does Proverbs say about our words?
It stresses their power for good and bad. Proverbs 10.1n warns, in the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise.
So talking too much gets you into trouble. Maybe less is more.
That's the implication. Think before you speak or, type, especially now.
Yeah, good point. And the impact can be serious. Proverbs 12.18 says, some words are like piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health.
Wow. Swords versus health. That's potent imagery. Words can wound deeply or they can heal.
They really can. And there's practical advice too, like in Proverbs 15, verse 1.
Oh, yes. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Basically, how you say things matters. Calmness diffuses. Harshness ignites.
Simple, but so true. We see it all the time. What about secrets, gossip?
Proverbs hits that too. Chapter 17, verse 9. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth a matter separateth very friends.
So forgiveness and discretion build relationships, while dredging things up or gossiping breaks them.
Exactly. It's about loyalty and not spreading stuff that harms friendships. Protect the relationship.
And then there's that really heavy one, Proverbs 18.21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Yeah, that's intense. It means our words have real serious consequences. They can build people up or tear them down.
A big responsibility.
Right.
But it's not all negative, right? There's the flip side.
Definitely. Proverbs 25.11 gives this beautiful image. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver.
Apples of gold in silver settings.
That sounds precious.
It suggests the beauty and value of saying the right thing at the right time in the right way. It's an art.
Okay, so powerful stuff on words. What about work ethic? Diligence versus, well, laziness.
Another major theme. Proverbs doesn't mince words about laziness. Chapter 6, verses 6 to 11, uses the ant.
The ant, right. Go to the ant, thou sluggard.
Consider her ways and be wise. It praises the ant's foresight and hard work, gathering food in summer for the harvest.
And warns the sluggard, right, about sleeping too much. Yes. Yet, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come. It links laziness directly to poverty.
A stark warning. That image of the ant is so memorable.
It really is, and Proverbs 10.4 makes the link very clear. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. Effort leads to reward.
Simple cause and effect. But is it just about money?
Not entirely. Proverbs 13.4 says, the soul of the sluggard desireth and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat.
Made fat, like satisfied, fulfilled.
Exactly. It suggests diligence brings not just material stuff, but inner satisfaction, contentment. The lazy person wants things, but never gets that fulfillment.
So it's about character, too.
Yeah.
And Proverbs 19.15 links slothfulness to deep sleep and hunger. Like a cycle.
Yeah, inactivity breeds more inactivity and negative outcomes. And then there's that passage in Proverbs 24 about observing a lazy person's field.
Oh, yeah. What does it say?
The observer sees it all overgrown with thorns, the wall is broken down, total neglect.
A visual of decay due to laziness.
Precisely. And the conclusion is the same. Yet a little sleep, so shall thy poverty come. It's a vivid picture of the results of inaction. Makes you think about tackling small tasks before they become big problems.
Definitely cautionary tale. Okay, so we've covered wisdom, folly, speech, work. What about how we get along with people? Relationships, social stuff.
Proverbs is full of guidance there too. Very practical. It starts with just basic decency, like in Proverbs 3, verses 27-28.
What's that one?
Withhold not good from them to whom it is due when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. And don't put people off if you can help them now. Say not unto thy neighbor, go and come again.
So basically, be helpful and prompt. Don't procrastinate kindness.
Pretty much. Be responsive, be generous, and trust is huge, obviously. Proverbs 11.13 contrasts a talebearer who spills secrets with a faithful spirit who conceals things.
Discretion versus gossip again. Being trustworthy is key.
Absolutely essential for any real relationship. And Proverbs 17.1 talks about true friendship. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
So real friends stick by you, especially when times are tough, not just fair weather friends.
Exactly. That enduring support. But it also warns about who you make friends with. Proverbs 22.24-25 says, don't hang out with angry or furious people,
Why not?
lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Their anger or negativity might rub off on you, trap you, influence again.
Right. Choose your company wisely. That keeps coming up.
It does. And sometimes true friendship isn't about always being nice. Proverbs 27.6 says, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful.
Wounds of a friend, like constructive criticism, telling you hard truths.
That's the idea. Honest feedback from someone who cares is better than fake flattery from someone who doesn't. Value the honesty, even if it stings a bit.
That takes courage, both to give and receive.
Okay.
And what about practical support?
Proverbs 27.10 has an interesting take. Don't run to your brother's house far away in a crisis. Why? Better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off.
So practical, nearby help can be more valuable than distant family. It's about nurturing those close connections.
Exactly. Your immediate circle matters. Okay, now what about the specific don'ts? The big warnings in Proverbs.
Ah, the red flags. What paths does it warn us away from?
Well, Proverbs 1, verses 10-19, is a strong warning against getting drawn in by sinners, people planning violence or greedy schemes. Consent thou not.
Don't go along with the crowd if they're doing bad things. Peer pressure, basically.
Pretty much. Especially the lure of easy, illicit gains. And then chapter 5 goes into detail warning against adultery, the strange woman.
Right. It talks about initial sweetness, but a bitter end.
Extremely bitter, destructive consequences for reputation, finances, everything. Deep regret.
A clear warning. What else?
Proverbs 6, verses 1-5. Cautions against being surety for someone else, like co-signing a loan without understanding the risk. Financial entanglement.
Practical advice, don't take on someone else's debt casually.
Can lead to real trouble. And then verses 16-19 in chapter 6 list things the Lord doth hate.
Okay, what's on that list?
A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, an heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet swift in running to mischief, a false witness, and he that soweth discord.
Oh, that covers a lot. Pride, lies, violence, evil thoughts, troublemaking, false testimony, stirring up conflict.
It's a pretty comprehensive list of behaviors and attitudes considered fundamentally wrong. It's a strong moral guidepost.
No kidding. Any other major warnings?
Yes, alcohol.
Yeah.
Proverbs 20, verse 1, wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise.
So it's deceptive. It leads you astray.
That's the idea. And Proverbs 23 goes into vivid detail about the woes of heavy drinking fights, confusion, health problems, poor judgment, addiction. It paints a grim picture.
A clear cautionary tale about excess. Okay, so beyond specific don'ts, what about the positive foundations? Justice, righteousness.
Yeah, very important in Proverbs. It sees them as crucial for, well, everything. Proverbs 11.1 is about fairness in business. A false balance is abomination, but a just weight is his delight. Honesty in dealings.
No cheating. Fair play is essential.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Proverbs 16.8 prioritizes ethics over profit. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right.
So integrity is worth more than riches gained unfairly.
That's the message. Living right matters more. And Proverbs 21.3 even says, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice.
Actions over rituals. Living ethically is more important than just religious observance.
Seems so. It's about embodying those principles. And Proverbs 28.5 links, seeking God with understanding justice. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things.
Implying a moral compass helps you see what's truly right.
That's the suggestion. And
Yeah.
connection to a higher standard clarifies things. Okay, one last big theme. Parents and kids. Guidance. Instruction.
Yeah, that framing of father-to-son advice is common, isn't it? So it makes sense parenting is a focus.
It really is. Right from chapter 1, verse 8. My son, hear the instruction of thy father and forsake not the law of thy mother. It establishes that parental teaching is fundamental.
A starting point for life.
And it's ongoing. Proverbs 3.1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. Internalize it. Make it part of you.
And Proverbs 4 calls it good doctrine, something valuable parents give.
Exactly. Important knowledge being passed down. Proverbs 7 says, keep my words. Treasure this guidance.
Laying a foundation. But it also talks about correction, discipline, right?
It does. Proverbs 19.18 advises chastening while there is hope. And Proverbs 3 talks about using the rod for correction to deliver his soul from hell.
Okay, the language is maybe harsh for modern ears, but the principle is about setting boundaries, guiding kids away from harm.
That's generally how it's interpreted today. Responsible guidance includes correction to steer kids toward wisdom away from destructive paths. The methods might differ, but the need for guidance remains.
And there's a long-term view too, Proverbs 22.6.
Yes. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Early training has a lasting impact. It's an investment.
Shaping character for the future.
Right. And Proverbs 29 contrasts a disciplined child with one left to himself, saying correction brings wisdom and rest, while neglect brings shame. It benefits everyone.
So consistent, loving guidance is key. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground.
We really have. So stepping back from all these details from the excerpts, what are the big takeaways, the recurring threads?
Well, first and foremost, for me, it's got to be the huge emphasis on seeking wisdom, like actively pursuing it. It's positioned as the most valuable thing, more than gold or rubies.
Absolutely. The prime directive, almost. And tied right into that is the warning against folly, against ignoring wisdom, which always seems to lead to trouble.
Definitely. And then the power of words that really stood out. How much impact our speech has, for good or bad. The need for care, for soft answers, for discretion.
And the whole diligence versus sloth thing. Hard work is consistently praised. Laziness is condemned. It links effort to reward, both material and sort of internal satisfaction.
Right. Then relationships, how to treat people, choosing friends, loyalty, honesty, even when it's tough. Lots of practical advice there.
And those clear warnings against specific dangers, greed, violence, infidelity, getting drunk, being dishonest. It's a moral roadmap with clear danger ahead signs.
Yeah. And finally, that bedrock of justice and righteousness, plus the importance of parents guiding their kids. Those themes run deep.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it, how these ancient words still resonate? They tap into something fundamental about being human, about navigating life, timeless insights.
It really is food for thought. So maybe for you listening, just think. Out of all this ancient wisdom we touched on, is there one piece that particularly, speaks to you right now?
Yeah, something that clicks with your current situation.
Exactly. And maybe what's one small way you could try to apply that insight this week? It could be interesting to revisit Proverbs yourself. See what else jumps out for your own journey.